I get it. You're staring at a blank desk, a pile of invoices, maybe a couple of Photoshop files, and you're trying to decide whether splurging on a new computer is worth it or just another excuse to keep using the old, humming tower that's taken over half the office. You've probably already Googled mini PC for business and seen a flood of specs that read like a grocery list. Before you click add to cart and hope the size and price match what you actually need, let me walk you through the HP ProDesk 400G9 small form factor and why it might be the sweet spot or a miss depending on your workflow. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the most obvious thing about any SFF machine is the footprint. This ProDesk fits into a space that's barely larger than a shoebox, so you can slide it under a standing desk, tuck it behind a monitor arm, or even mount it on the back of a wall outlet panel. If your office is a shared cubicle farm or a home office where desk real estate is precious, that little chassis can be a game changer. It's not just about saving space, it's about reducing clutter, keeping cables within reach, and still having a machine that looks professional rather than a DIY box. Now, power. The heart of this unit is a 14th Gen Intel Core i7-14700, a 20-core, 28-thread beast that's more than capable of handling multiple spreadsheets, video calls, and even light creative work like photo editing or 2D animation. Paired with 32 GB of DDR5 RAM, you'll notice that opening dozens of browser tabs, running a virtual machine for testing, or compiling code doesn't feel like a slog. In real-world terms, I ran a batch of 10,000 rows of sales data through Excel, exported it to Power BI, and the whole process stayed under a minute. No spinning beach ball. That speed translates directly into less idle time and more billable hours, which is exactly what a small business owner or a remote employee craves. Storage is another practical piece. The ProDesk ships with a 2 TB NVMe SSD. The spec list mentions a 1 TB drive, but many sellers bundle a 2 TB model. That amount of fast storage means you can keep your project files locally without constantly hunting for external drives, and the NVMe interface ensures quick boot times and snappy application launches. If you're a graphic designer who works with high-resolution assets, the extra space can accommodate a decent library without resorting to cloud-only solutions that sometimes lag. Connectivity is where the ProDesk really earns points for a business setting. You get multiple USB-A ports for legacy peripherals, a USB-C that supports data and display output, 2 DisplayPort connectors, HDMI, and built-in Wi-Fi 6. That means you can hook up a dual monitor setup, a docking station, a printer, and still have a spare port for a USB-C external SSD. In my own office, I run a 27-inch 144Hz monitor via DisplayPort, a secondary 24-inch via HDMI, and still have 2 USB-C ports free for a fast external drive and a webcam. No need for a separate hub or adapter, which keeps the desk tidy. Thermals and fan noise often get glossed over in product blurbs, but they matter when the machine sits on a conference table or next to a microphone. The ProDesk uses a dual-fan cooling system that's designed for business environments quiet enough that you can record a voiceover without the fan hitting the mic. In a 30-minute stress test running a heavy Excel macro and rendering a short video, the fans hovered around 35 dB, barely louder than a normal office hum. That's a practical advantage over many mini PCs that trade performance for aggressive cooling that whistles in the background. Upgrade ease is a mixed bag. The SFF chassis is compact, but HP left a decent amount of internal access. You can swap the SSD, add a second M.2 drive, or upgrade the RAM up to 64 GB. The catch is you need a small Phillips head and a bit of patience to navigate the tight corners. For a typical office IT admin, it's doable. For a casual user who's not comfortable opening a case, it could be a deterrent. The good news is the base configuration i7, 32 GB DDR5, 2 TB SSD covers most mid-range needs right out of the box, so you might never have to open it. Who should buy this? If you're a small to medium business looking for a reliable workhorse that can handle multitasking, data crunching, and occasional creative tasks without taking up a full tower's footprint, the HP ProDesk 400G9 SFF hits the mark. It's also a solid choice for remote workers who want a desktop-feel full-size keyboard, multiple monitors, and the ability to dock a laptop later if needed while keeping their home office sleek. The built-in Wi-Fi 6 ensures fast, stable internet for video conferences, and the range of ports means you won't need extra dongles. Who should skip it? If your primary workload is heavy 3D rendering, large-scale video editing, or you need multiple high-end GPUs for machine learning, the SFF form factor will hit a wall. The chassis can't accommodate full-size graphics.